In today's video, I have some homemade veggie pasta with spaghetti squash and a homemade sauce. Also, some skillet chicken and a viral topic. Check it out. What really bothered me to my core is that this was all perception of what Kevin Gates thinks from what he saw. And he said, maybe I see things that other people that don't observe. And I'm like, dude, why are you, first of all, paying that close of attention to LeBron's wife and how she looks at her husband? Like, what does that matter to you? Kevin Gates is married, by the way, but has been walking around with, what is it? Is it Brittany Renner? Is that her name? Hey guys, it's me, Talia Risa Gibson. You can call me Tag for short, and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Today I have a home cooked meal. So I have some baked spaghetti squash, so that's the noodles underneath. And then I made a pasta sauce, and I'll tell you how I made that, and then some skillet chicken. So let me kind of talk about how I made this sauce. So I started with some avocado oil. I sauteed some sweet onions and jalapeno. And so then I let that get a little bit translucent. I added in fresh chopped eggplant and fresh chopped green zucchini. And then I added in some garlic, and I started letting that cook down. I added some seasonings like onion and garlic powder, Italian seasoning as well, and then just kind of some pepper, black pepper, just kind of light seasoning, and then let that kind of cook down a little bit. Then I added in some tomato pesto that I got from, I believe it was it Kroger? Or did I get it from Walmart? I think I got that tomato pesto from Walmart. But it's tomato pesto, not like the green pesto. But it's really flavorful. And then I added coconut milk for the creaminess, some tomato paste, and then I just added salt to taste as needed. And then a little bit of better than bouillon chicken seasoning, and I put that in there, and that's how I got the sauce. And then once that kind of cooked down, the eggplant and the zucchini was cooked, I added in some Parmesan cheese. This is just a skillet chicken breast, piece of chicken breast. And so, yeah, we're gonna pray and get into this. Dear God, thank you for this food I'm about to eat. Thank you for this day. As to be with my viewers, keep them happy, healthy, and safe. In your name I pray, amen. All right, so let's get into this chicken, cut it up. And then I just have some water right here. All right, so let's get into this pasta. So again, these are the spaghetti zucchini noodles. So it's that big yellow squash. And so you put it in the oven. I poke holes in it, and then I put it in a dish, and I put it in the oven for an hour. I turn it over about halfway through, and then take it out and let it cool down a bit. You have to scrape out the seeds, and then you scrape and you get the spaghetti noodles. So a bite for you. That sauce is good. So I kind of switched up how I've been eating. So for the last couple of weeks, in April, I've mainly been eating meatless. And so I decided to bring back chicken and turkey in my meals, and possibly fish like salmon. I was just taking a bit of a break. And so, because I've been back in the gym, I just felt like I needed to switch from like the rice and like sourdough bread and all that to more of the protein and veggies. Because I'm trying to get more lean, and though I'm not someone who thinks I have to be like carb free all the time, I do feel like for what my goals are, like physical goals and stuff, that I need to focus on like proteins, veggies, and fruits. So I decided after those 3 weeks of focusing more on vegetarian, because what I was really doing was more vegetarian because I was still eating eggs and stuff, you know, but I was just taking a break from meat. And this meal could have definitely still been meatless, because this spaghetti squash with the sauce and the eggplant and the zucchini, I could have just eaten a bigger portion of that as a meal because it's good. And that's the thing, I've discovered various meals that I really enjoy that are meatless. And I do think it's good to kind of give your body a break here and there if you're not wanting to dedicate to like being vegan or whatever, you know. I'm really also trying to see what my body responds to best. And so I feel like thinking long term and being able to sustain how I'm eating no matter where I'm at, that for me, this is sustainable for sure. Hold on. So you guys might be wondering, Talia, where's your food? So I got a call that I needed to answer. My dad was actually calling me, and so I was wanting to see what he was calling. I didn't know if he was just calling or he was telling me, because my mom is having surgery next week on her hip, and they had to go to the doctor, which is like an hour 15, hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half away from my hometown. They had to go for her pre-op stuff today. So I wasn't sure if they were calling with something like that or if he was just calling. So I answered the phone, and I was on the phone for him a little while. I didn't want my food to get cold, so I kept eating. And so that's where the food went. But yeah, so it's all gone. I definitely finished my plate. But y'all, my topic today, I wanted to talk to you guys about Kevin Gates. Kevin MF Gates. Oh my goodness. So I don't know if you don't know who he is. So he is a rapper. I've never really listened to a lot of Kevin Gates songs. Like I've heard, you know, some that were more like popular. I think he had like 2 phones or whatever it might be. So I've never been a Kevin Gates fan per se. And I don't like the way he moves as far as his situation with his wife and having mistresses and all of that, and just his beliefs about women and all that. I just can't stand. So I just don't follow him. I don't really pay attention. And so the other day, was it yesterday or this morning? I think it might have been yesterday. I was on Instagram and just kind of scrolling, and I saw, I think it was the Neighborhood Talk, or it might have been the Shade Room. It was one of them. They had reposted a clip that Kevin Gates himself posted on his Instagram, where he's recording himself while he's either on FaceTime or something, or maybe speakerphone with some other man. But you can see that he's talking to someone, and you can hear the other man's voice. Well, Kevin Gates in the video was explaining his thoughts about LeBron James. I guess apparently someone had asked him a question about LeBron James, and then Kevin Gates was like, basically saying like he's a legend, this or that, but I would not want to trade places with him because I don't like the way his wife, who is Savannah, I don't like the way his wife looks at him when they do. So Savannah and LeBron have this handshake that they do when he walks out before he goes to play his games. And so he said he doesn't like the look that she gives LeBron. She looks like she's annoyed with LeBron, like she doesn't want to be there. He says that she needs to be more like how the white women are and how they are D'd out over them. And when I say D, think of male private part. That I just don't want to say it over. He wants them to be D'd out over LeBron. LeBron is one of the best players in the nation, and so his wife should be basically fanning out over him like these white women would do. And he was basically saying like LeBron shouldn't accept that. And then he was saying something like how that girl is, talking about LeBron James' wife. And then he said, I would be like B, like he called her a B pretty much. And so it's like, what really bothered me to my core is that this was all perception of what Kevin Gates thinks from what he saw. And he said, maybe I see things that other people that don't observe. And I'm like, dude, why are you, first of all, paying that close of attention to LeBron's wife and how she looks at her husband? Like, what does that matter to you? Kevin Gates is married, by the way, but has been walking around with, what is it? Is it Brittany Renner? Is that her name? I know her last name is Renner, but she's been known to just like be out there with celebrity males, especially athletes, and just like giving it up really easy. There was this whole thing, and she knows, she said this in interviews, that she's had that lifestyle. Apparently now she's following Allah, and she's following Muslim, and she keeps her hair covered and all that. But girl, if you're still doing the same thing, how is converting elevating your life? If you're still doing the same thing, he's a married man. She's everywhere he's going now, whether it's a studio or interview, she's there just sitting in the background, all covered up. And so like during that video, you could hear her laughing and giggling and all of that too. And so it was just distasteful, disrespectful. It wasn't like Kevin Gates had an interaction with LeBron's wife. He just said that he doesn't like the way she looks. He said that she used to look like Lamar Odom back in the day, I guess before they got more rich and famous. I don't know. But I'm just like, you came for a whole grown man's wife with speculations from your own probably trauma, from your own thoughts about women, and you're not even respecting your own wife or what marriage actually is. And you have Miss Renner just following you everywhere and letting you talk to her crazy and all of that too. And it's like, I feel like men like that, and even women who are like that, it stems from their own thoughts about adults around them. And so I don't know how Kevin's relationship is with his mother, or if he has sisters or other women in his life that were positive influence, but I'm like, there has to be some level of lack of respect. I know with my ex, John, when we were dating, I'll have to tell you guys that story. But, you know, when I think about that relationship, there was the good parts of it, but there were things that I noticed. For example, like he would do whatever it took to help his parents. He actually bought a home that was next to his family home where he grew up, that his mom and dad still lived in. His dad had gotten ill, so he had moved back to Dallas and bought that home, and he also had some other things that he was doing as well. But as much as he would do things and help his mom, there was also this level of just like annoyance with her, or like almost in a way like he was just annoyed by his mom. And I'm like, what growing up occurred that kind of made him kind of annoyed by her personality or whatever it might be. His older sister was more like calm and chill, and he got along really well with her. But his middle sister was more outspoken like the mom, and he would butt heads with that sister. And so it just showed me that like if a woman had more of an opinion or spoke up more, he would get frustrated by that. And ultimately that and jealousy and a lack of control of anger is what ultimately made me remove myself from that relationship. And so I just feel like with someone like Kevin Gates, it's probably the same thing. Something with his mother or some woman in his life that he had an experience with and is projecting his thoughts about Black women based off of that. Because it's just crazy. There's so many women who probably fangirl over LeBron in those audiences. Black, white, Mexican, Asian, Spanish, Salvadorian, like you could just name, you know, like there's probably plenty of women from all these different races who probably fangirl over LeBron. But he specifically had to say, like, white women, I want her to be D'd out and basically fanning over LeBron. But she's his wife. Perhaps LeBron appreciates that she's not like that, and that's probably why she has remained his wife, because you want somebody that is not just gonna fan over you. Those fangirls, they may give you that attention, but are they gonna be there when you get sick? Are they gonna help you when you get injured? Are they gonna stay by your side when you're having emotional challenges or whatever it might be? Not just looking at you because you're this great player. That's only a part of who he is. I feel like it's also very degrading to LeBron for Kevin to do that. And my thoughts about, like, as a grown man, you would sit there on the phone with another grown man and gossip about LeBron's wife and record it and post it on Instagram. It's immature. It lacks wisdom. And I was just like, it made it made my blood boil. I was so annoyed by it, just because I'm like, this is what women are experiencing. And I'm not talking about all men, because I know that there are some women out there that give men hell and all of that too. And so I know sometimes as soon as a woman starts talking about men, sometimes the men get defensive and start talking about women. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm not talking about all men, because I honestly believe that there are a lot of good men in the world who are single, married, whatever it might be. But in today's just kind of dating scene, I feel like that's why you see a lot more single women, because of a Kevin Gates mentality, of a what's wrong with the name Kevin? You got Kevin Gates, Kevin Samuels. It's the same thing for women who want to follow like the Brittany Renners or the Natalie Nuns from Baddies and all these different things. Like, it's just a hot mess. So men who are really trying to find the right women keep running into the Brittany Renners and the Natalie Nuns and those women. And then the women who are trying to find the right man, they're running into the Kevin Gates and the Kevin Samuels mentality and all of that. And so it's just a hot mess. It is a mess, and I'm just not here for it. I told one of my friends, like, yes, I would love to be in a relationship, but not at the cost of my mental health, not at the cost of my peace, not at the cost of feeling less than myself, not at the cost of sacrificing who I am as an individual. I really feel like the person for me, we will both add to each other's lives. He's not going to have to build me up into a whole person, and I'm not going to have to build him up into a whole person. Like, I really want myself, and I'm always working on being better for myself as well. I really want myself to be whole, and I want him to be whole. And together, we are two whole people who are partnering together and choosing to love and partner together. And I just feel like that's something that maybe a LeBron James understands, and that's why him and his wife have been together, because they're choosing each other. He could easily go and mess around with all these other women or leave his wife. We've seen celebrities, we've seen athletes, we've seen whoever, even just regular people, we've seen them leave their wives, or women leave their husbands. We've seen that happen. So if he wanted to, he would. And so for Kevin Gates to make it seem like LeBron is just suffering and can't get out of it almost is ridiculous to me. And I just thought it was so disrespectful. And I'm not even a LeBron James, like, ride or die kind of fan. I'm not even a Laker fan. So it wasn't about that for me. It was, I saw that video and I was listening and I was just like, the nerve. And then to call her out of her name, to call her that. And I'm like, you don't know the woman. You're making all these assumptions. And almost like he had a disgust for LeBron's wife. And I'm just like, how you don't know her? Something's mentally wrong with that thinking. And any male who agrees that that is okay, you need to check yourself. Because why? There's some deep-rooted issues, and even women who treat men a certain way need to really stop and think, because there's some deep-rooted issues. One thing no one could ever say, or say that they hear me say, is that there are no good men in the world. These men, I'm just going to use them for what they have, or this or that. I don't say that because I don't believe that, and I don't want to project that. And so I just thought, the nerve of this idiotic man to talk about LeBron James and his wife like that, when he has a wife that he is just doing whatever he wants to and living the life he wants to live with these other women publicly. And I don't know if she's okay with it, but she's obviously dealt with it. I don't know what she feels about that. But do you see LeBron getting on Instagram, making a video about Kevin Gates and how he has a wife but is out just twiddling his fingers with other women? Y'all, I was just so annoyed. So I don't know. If you know who Kevin Gates is and you haven't seen that video, go on Instagram. He has it on his Instagram page. And then LeBron responded to it by just posting pictures of him and his wife. And then he said something like, a king doesn't need to respond to peasants. And then he said something like, where are we going next, queen? And that was kind of his response. I don't know if he'll say anything else. But then Kevin Gates still wanted to make another post after that, like basically saying, if it weren't true, then you wouldn't be mad at it. It's like, dude, you called his wife out of her name for no reason, out of your assumptions based off of what you think you see. And at the end of the day, they are choosing each other. So, y'all, I just sometimes I'm like, God, I don't think I fit in with the culture of the way people are at this point in life. And so, and I'm just like, the thought of dating some of these mindsets, some of these deep rooted traumatic mindsets, I'm good on that. If I meet somebody who aligns with who I am and I align with who he is, I'm definitely open to that. But it's just the disrespect that people have, like some of the women, some of the men, and I'm just like, I don't agree with any of it. And I'm just like, whoa. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of like, whoever is meant for me is going to be for me. I'm not looking at what race he is or, well, I am looking at age. But I'm also looking at how he treats his family, how his family treats him, how his family treats me, how I feel about his family, how what his values are, what my values are. Do they align? Do we want the same things for our future? There's so many different things that I'd be looking for. But this Kevin Gates kind of mentality, y'all, it made me so mad. But go watch it for yourself if you are interested in what I'm talking about. If you saw it, what are your thoughts about it? Comment down below, because I'm curious. Because if y'all agree with Kevin Gates, I'm side-eyeing y'all. Because what? Y'all, I'm going to end this video because I need to go to the gym. It's already about to be 6:30. So I need to edit a video that I did earlier and then go to the gym and come back and relax and get ready for the next day. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course hit that bell notification so you'll know when I post. Until next time, bye.